Hello guys, this is Vignan from CSE and today I'm going to discuss about the topic of for loops. And basically, first we're going to discuss about the topic of loops. What are loops? Why do we use it? Basically, when we want to print a certain object n number of times. For example, let's print a numbers from 1 to 10. We need to type every letter like this. It will be basically a tough one. So for this, to decrease the time of coding, we created the loops. And there are basically two types of loops, the for loop and the while loop. And the most efficient one was the for loop. So there are a lot of different methods to code in the for loop. So, and to access different type, let's learn how to access the different types of for loops and use the different for loops based on your required condition. So first, how to access every element in the string using a for loop. And first, this will be also the syntax of the for loop. By this, the I represents every element of the string for each literal. And by accessing it, we are printing the every literal. Means that every element of the string will be printed in the new line. Let's run it. See, this is how the each element will be accessed and printed in a new line in a string. And now let's go to the list, tuple, or a set. They will be also accessed by a for loop. See, this is a list with strings and numbers, which represent error 404. And using a for loop, we can access each element separately, which will be same as a string. And now we accessed every element of this list. And not only list, we can also access same with a tuple or a set. Now let's print it. And run it. See, this is how it works. It accesses every element and a print, and as we use the print command, it prints every element in a new line. And there is a lot of ways where we can also use a for loop. Like what if someone told you to print from 1 to 100 numbers? It will be too tough to print, like print 1, print 2, print 3. So we can use a for loop here with a keyword called range. By this, we can easily print till what digit do you want. Like example, here we are taking the input from the user. So let's make it as n. And let's print every element in a new line. I'll show you by running it. Now the input, let's give it a 10. See, this is how it works. It goes from the 0 to the n minus 1, means the value we are given will be represented as n minus 1 values. So it runs from 0 to 9. This is just a one type of range. There are many ranges and different types of it. We'll cover it, everything. And second, we'll take the starting value, as n here represents the ending value. But now let's take 3 as a starting value and just for now let's remove this. And let us give the inputs, and these represent the starting value and ending value. Means the literals run from 3 to the 20 minus 1, means 19. Let's show it. See, it starts from 3 and it'll end at 19. And this is second type. And the third type, which we can also see here, there are two commas in a range bracket. First one represents the start. and the second one represents the stop, and the third one represents the step. Here step, if we didn't write anything in the step, it takes as a +1. That's the default. Let's print it. See, same, it's printed from 3 to 19. But what if we replace it with 3 and prints from 3 to 20? See, it's printed 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18, which will be from the starting value 3 and increment each value by 3. And not only positive values, we can also increment this by negative values. Let's say 9 minus 2, but this should be a larger value and this should be a smaller value. Let's say 24 and it will be decrement by minus 2. It goes from 20 to 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. So it printed from 2, 20 to 66, 20 to 6 with a decrement of minus 2. And this is how we can use a range with the numerical values. And as we see, we use it in every type of for loop. But this is not only the one reason to use it in. Let me show you real uses of in. Let's say if y in L, that was a list of L with a word syntax and each element was a. That's why let's run it. It says true, and that means y exists in the list L. And I will show you another one. Not in. Let's run it. This shows false, means there is an element y which exists in a list, but we entered is a not in. So here it exists in a list L. And now let's goes to the other topic, dict, what we call as dictionary. Yeah, as you know, dictionary, we access two elements like key and value. And with a for loop, using a for loop, we can easily access the key and a value of a dictionary. I will show you how to. Let's take the variables as key and value itself. And let's give the dictionary d dot. As I wrote here, there is a comment dot item. This is a method which is only used to access a dictionary. I will also explain how it works. See, now print. First print a key. I'll print a key and space. Let's make some design here. And value. Right. Let's run it. Oh, sorry, that's a error. This is how it works. It accesses the keyword without any index value, so it makes it easy to access a dictionary. And the item dot items here is only used to access the dictionary values, and it's makes us easy to access in a for loop. And now there are so many types, and let me show you all the types of what we. So here we're gonna use some AI. We should use the AI so that we can easily finish the topic and understand it clearly. Now let's see. For loop, it's a normal basic loop. Range 5 we discussed about, and the list 1 we discussed it, and the tuple we discussed, string we discussed, dictionary we just completed it. So see, just we can access the only the keyword or a variable or both at a time. And next will be mu. These one is somewhat different, where by using this keyword we can access the index of the element. So as we type here index, the index will be printed with the element name. So that was something different. And zip will be same as the normal dot item one, but this will be some less one to write, somewhat easy to write. As we discussed, this all range reversed means it counts backside from means the decrement of -1, and this is saw it. And let us discuss about this. If for else. Let's go to our code. Name. Yeah, for else loop. This like works different. Example, let's take for I in range. Example 5. Print I. Print. Print. Let's run it and see. This is how it works. The else represents here. After the finishing all the literals in the for loop, the else statement will be printed. This is how it works, the else one. And let's see more. And it's a nested for loop. We can use a for loop inside a for loop. This is something different. Let's discuss about it. The last one. We can also call it as a compact for loop. Let's take a list L. And if you want to print the entire list directly, it's a waste of time to take the for loop, and in next time we should write a print command, and that's a lot of time waste. So we can easily access like this. Don't worry about the I. Oh, sorry. In L. This is a short command. This is a for loop, and this is a print command. So we can, by running it, see, we can direct access the entire list with just a single sentence. And there is also a small trick which I want to share. For loop, and then after a if loop. If I let's take it as I not equal to R. And let's run it. It didn't print the R, so it sets the elements which satisfies the condition will be only be printed. So without wasting like a lot of time and printing in new line, so we can easily print in one line the for loop, if loop, and a print statement. And this is called a compact for loop, so that will be very useful. And one more, the last and important thing was a continue and a break statement. Break and continue. It's like if you wanna break a literal in middle of it, you can use a break statement. Let me show you. Let's write a if statement. And let's run it in the new terminal. See, we gave a range of 0 to 9, but it just printed 0 to 4. This is how it works. When it came to the I is equal to 5, this condition satisfied, and they applied a break, and just it came out of the loop. The control came out of the loop, and the next iteration didn't happen. But what if we use continue and run it? See, there is a missing of 5. When I is equal to 5, we gone to the statement called continue, and by then the remaining part in that block will be skipped and the next literal will be started. This is how it works. The break and continue are some important terms which we can use for a for loop, and maybe this is the complete one which about the for loop. And if you have any doubts, we can use AI, which shows a lot of information. So try it. And this is for today. This is about the all information about the for loop basically. So that's it. And if you like it,